So technically this is a book haul video, but it's a little emotional for me because all of these books are from my brother's personal life. Hi people, before we get into the book haul, I just wanted to say something about the channel. Now most of you have found me because of the DIY anxiety bookshelf video, and I'm so grateful for all the love that you have shown on that. But this channel was meant to be something else as well. Now, I'm soon going for my master's in literature, and I've always wanted to show what we study in literature, the literary aspects of books, the academic perspectives on books, more reading vlogs and literary discussions and college life and so much more. And that does not mean that I don't enjoy doing crafts. I genuinely love them as well. There are more ideas in the pipeline and more hacks coming your way. But from now onwards, you will be seeing this side of me as well. So I'm grateful to anyone who plans to join my journey. I hope you have some fun with me and get to take away something meaningful from my learnings. If you're here watching this video, then that means you love books and you're interested in knowing what I got from my brother this time. So let's begin. These are not just random books. These are the kind of books that you keep hearing about when you study literature. Once your professor mentions them, you have to study them. So it's kind of like my dream library already here that my brother had. Building a collection like this can take years and it's so expensive. And also some of the book hauls online I see these days are very consumer heavy to me. Like people are buying more and more books every day, which is fine, obviously. But there's something meaningful about borrowing books from someone because the person has already lived through all of these books. It almost feels like you're inheriting those conversations from them because they've read these, they've underlined these things, they've changed the way they look at people because of these books. So it feels like you're inheriting their thoughts. So today I just wanted to show you this entire haul, the kind of books that there are, and talk about why borrowing books might be the smartest way to build your reading life. Okay, so the first category here is existential literature, which is basically the core of this entire bookshelf. We have books like Nausea, Waiting for Godot, Notes from the Underground, some books by Albert Camus, and also No Longer Human. These writers are all from different countries and traditions, but they all seem to wrestle with the same question. What does it mean to be human? How do we find meaning in a world which feels so indifferent? And what do you do when you don't feel like you belong? So even though these were written decades ago, these feel incredibly relevant today because people are so detached from society, from themselves these days. I already finished reading No Longer Human, and oh my god, some parts genuinely shocked me. And not in the way that this book changed my life overnight, in the sense that the narrator was so self-aware about the pain that he was already going through. This constant performance happening here, like he's trying to act like a human being, but he's so detached and disconnected from the people around him. I'll definitely make a proper video once I finish reading more research papers about it. Then we have another group which explores power, institutions, and the individual's relationship with society. We have 1984, Brave New World, and The Trial by Kafka. Each of these books imagine control in a completely different way. 1984 asks what happens if an individual is watched all the time. Brave New World imagines a society where people are controlled through comfort and pleasure. The Trial explores the anxiety of being trapped in a system that you cannot fully understand. Different words, but they all ask the same question. What happens to an individual when the institutions that they're living in become more powerful than them? And then we move towards books which feel deeply connected to identity and selfhood. We have A Portrait of Artist as a Young Man, Confessions of a Mask, and The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. All of these authors are obsessed with consciousness itself, like with the idea that identity is not simple. People construct versions of themselves, they hide some of their personalities, they perform in a certain way, and they also struggle between their inner desires and social expectations. One of the reasons I'm so excited to read these books is because these feel less like entertainment and more like conversations about being a human being. I already started reading A Portrait of Artist as a Young Man, and oh my god, this is such a difficult book. I read 30 pages and I stopped because Joyce does not make it easy for us to understand the references. I am trying to find a guide to understand this book better, but it's a challenge. If I don't find anything, I'll make one myself, but I accept this challenge. I'm trying to understand this book better. Yeah. Then there is Lolita, Probably one of the most controversial novels ever written. I've been wanting to read this for a very, very long time, and not only because of the subject matter, but because the author is known for his writing style and for the way he constructs an unreliable narrator. I'm excited to see why this is considered such an important literary work. It's a masterpiece in literature. And then we have the philosophy section. This includes Beyond Good and Evil, Walden, and the Book of Medard. Beyond Good and Evil is Nietzsche challenging conventional ideas of morality and questioning whether good and evil are as fixed as we think it is. Walden is Thoreau's account of living in the woods and reflecting on simplicity, nature, and self-reliance. Book of Medard is a spiritual classic built on conversations around wisdom, love, and inner growth. Then we have Steppenwolf and Zorba the Greek. Steppenwolf follows a man who is completely divided between his instinctive human self and his intellectual side. This is considered one of Herman Hesse's most celebrated psychological novels. On the other hand, Zorba the Greek is about an unlikely friendship between a quiet man and a free spirited Zorba who teaches him to live life more freely. They seem like complete opposites, but I think reading them both together will be so interesting because one teaches you to turn towards inner self and understand and introspect yourself, while the other one teaches you to find meaning in life while completely engaging with it. And the last one, The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. This book has also won the 1997 Booker Prize, making Arundhati Roy the first ever Indian woman to win that prize. One of the things Roy is most celebrated for is her lyrical style of writing prose and her non-linear structure, which naturally means that there will be a lot of memory fragments inside this novel. I'm already 90 pages inside this book, and I'm liking it so far. It is reminding me a lot of Salman Rushdie and also Toni Morrison, to be honest. I'll definitely make a proper review once I have finished it and have, of course, read a few thoughts and research papers about it online. So, yeah, these books might feel a little scary and intimidating at first, and also because my cousin has already gone through these. So he's encountered these questions, these authors, these philosophies, and now it's my turn. This might technically be a free book haul, and now please let me go and read my free books. I will see you in the next video. Bye.